What's up, guys, and welcome to the extremely late Countdown to Ultimate series of videos. Now, just a quick rundown of what this series is, because I know it's gotta be quick because there's a lot that has been going on behind the scenes with this. So, basically, this has been something that I have been brewing up in my mind since the late summer, and I tried to act on this as soon as possible, but then college got in the way, and then distractions, me doing a bunch of other stuff, and basically, I was like, you know what, I'll slowly churn this out on the way to Ultimate. And then it was like 3 months before, and it's like, okay, I better start this soon. Then 3 months turned into 2 months. 2 months turned into 1 month left, which was when I technically started, but here we are, less than 2 weeks before the game is out, and I'm just barely actually going through with this. So what is this video series? First off, it consists of 3 components, but the first component is basically what the majority of this series was supposed to be and what it still will be, is that, I'm here on the challenge board right now, and basically, the challenge board is basically your list of achievements for Smash games. They've had this in here since Brawl. 3DS also had it, Wii U also had it, Ultimate will also have it. Melee, I think, was just trophies and stuff like that, but anyway, the thing here is that Ultimate is coming in 2 weeks, and I get the feeling that more than any other Smash game, this game is basically going to become obsolete. As soon as Ultimate comes out, it's going to be drop dead. It could be partly due to the console, it could be partly due to some of these ideas that they had for this game feeling half-baked when compared to what Ultimate just does to improve on them. Because, even people were saying that about Brawl, like as soon as Wii U comes out, Brawl is going to be dropped, but no, like I've gone back to Brawl a few times just to mess around with friends and be like, OMG, what is this? But on this game, I just don't see why you would return to it unless you want to mess around with the crazy mods or Melee HD. Well, I think it's called 4XM now, but Melee HD gets the point across better. Unless you want to mess around with mods like that for a little while, then this game is just basically gonna sit there, probably never to be played again by most people. And I'm kind of in that camp because, especially in terms of me playing this game with friends, it would mean me hugging around my console all over the place, and I'm sick of doing that. And I'm so happy to just be able to just bring the Switch. All you need is a Switch, the dock. Like, I have a messenger bag specifically for that thing, and it weighs like, it feels like it weighs nothing compared to this. And even if I just want to bring the Switch, all I have to do is bring something the size of the Wii U gamepad. I don't have to hog around a giant honking power brick and a console and these cables, and it's a mess. But the thing with this is that, I have all these challenges here because even though most of these I've unlocked throughout the course of the history of playing this game, and most of them I was just like, oh, there's music for this, let's do this. And it's like, oh, this one seems easy, let's just do that as well. But most of this was done like in the first year of me owning the game. But, obviously there's still a lot left, and I've even done some of the harder challenges you may have noticed when I've had nothing else to do, like clear 9.0 without losing a single stack. It's there in the top left. I don't know if I'm going to go back to it. However, there's still some hard ones left, like that one with Pit. And honestly, in terms of the list of challenges left to do, the one with Mario I think is also the hardest one. At the time of me recording this audio, I still haven't done Pits yet because, spoilers, this is post-commentary, I'll get into that later, but I still haven't done Pit's challenge. That'll probably be the one I'm doing next, honestly. Or it depends on what I want to do, but basically all these challenges left. And I think by this point, I've done Classic Mode maybe 6 times, and All-Star twice. And here I'm showing that, yeah, while I could use a hammer to break some of these open, at least 5, there are some of them that you can't use them on, which, that one, like, clear All-Star on hard with Olimar, not Olimar, Duck Hunt. That one's... with enough determination you can do it. I've done about 20-some characters at this point. Almost 20, I would say. No, not even 20. Probably more like 15. But from what I've seen, they're not the worst thing in the world to do. I mean, Sheik gave me a really hard time. I'll rant on that when I get to Sheik. But the thing with this is that basically each character has their own specific challenge on the challenge board, and I've done a lot of them. But basically what I have antiquated, if that's even the right word to use, but what I have concurred is that basically, let's talk about trophies while we're here actually. Trophies. The only ones that I need left are from Classic, All-Star, or from the challenge boards. That's literally all the trophies I need left, because I've gotten all the trophies from Trophy Rush. I've gotten all the other trophies that you can get in the shop. Like, I'm showing what an alternate trophy is here. These alternate trophies you can only get after clearing Classic or All-Star with the character. It doesn't matter which mode, you just have to clear it with one. And then you get the opportunity to find this alternate trophy in the shop. If you wait like I did to do all this, then it's easy. All you have to do is, because the thing is that the trophy shop restocks every 24 hours after you do a certain number of matches, or every time you clear a single player mode like Classic or All-Star. So let's say, like what I'm about to do now, I'm about to start Mario. I do Mario's Classic, but I still need to get his alt trophy. I go into the shop immediately after, and it'll be there. Like 99.99% of the time, it will be there. Now Bowser Jr. is a special case, but I'll get to talking about that later. Because since, well, I can say it quickly right now. Since he has the 7 Koopalings to worry about, those also can appear in the shop along with his alternate. And basically you have to visit the shop at the very least 4 times. Because I have had it where 2 Koopalings are available for purchase. So that means 8 trophies from the shop, the 7 Koopalings and his alternate. So in theory, you could go there only 4 times and knock them out, but that would mean that you would have to come back after every other run with Classic and all that. Or some other modes if you just want to buy out the time. But basically, they kind of stray away to giving you repeats from what I've seen, because most of the time they try to give you a new one. It's like the Mario Party roulette wheel, where at the very least in Mario Party 8 it happened, where most of the time it tried to give you a new minigame. So in here, think of it as like every time that because it's RNG which trophies appear in the shop, so basically think of it as every time the shop resets, it will try to give you one you don't have already, and 99% of the time it will. I think I've only seen it once or twice where there was trophies like, oh, I've already bought all of these. And I'm not sure if there is like a Melee complex going on here, where in Melee, certain trophies would only appear in the trophy lottery if you have enough trophies. So like in order to get a specific trophy, like I'm just going to throw out random stuff here. In order to get a Fire Flower trophy, for example, you need to have 150 trophies total, which means that you can buy some trophies in the lottery shop, you can do some single player stuff, but you know, you basically can't earn other trophies until you've reached a certain threshold. I'm not sure if that exists here, probably not, just considering the amount of trophies they have here, because Melee had something like 200-ish trophies, and this game has over 700. The base game had 716. I do not know how much it is including DLC and all that, because, I don't know, let's get into that very quickly, because DLC also brings in their own trophies of Classic and All-Star. However, if you purchase DLC characters, they automatically come with, like, if you purchase the DLC characters, they automatically give you the alternate trophies right out of the box. And there are also some there, like, if you buy Bayonetta, for example, I know they give you a John trophy, a Rodon trophy, a Cereza trophy. I don't know if they give you Luca, actually. I just know that they give you some trophies right out of the box. But the only other trophy I know of that you have to buy something from the DLC in order to unlock is the Inkling. You get the Inkling trophy by buying the Inkling Mii costume. And I think that's all there is to say about trophies, actually, because the rest of them come from challenges or by clearing Classic and All-Star. Classic mode, you get the character trophy, basically their amiibo pose. And then for All-Star, you get the final Smash trophy. Now, as for the rest of the challenges, what I was getting into, each character has their own specific challenge. For some reason, Dr. Mario gets 2. And I think there's a character that doesn't get any. I need to look for that. Like, Dr. Mario gets 2, but there's one character who doesn't have any challenges tied to them for some reason. However, when it comes to the rest of the challenges, they can all basically be knocked out by either, well, the ones that I have left to do. Basically, they all get knocked out by clearing Classic Mode with everybody on 7.0 or higher, or clearing All-Star with everybody on Hard. And that basically gets rid of all the challenges that I need left. There are some exceptions where I try to knock out multiple challenges in one go, though. Like, for example, there was a challenge where you have to get 8 KOs in Cruel Smash and get 8 KOs in Cruel Smash as Lucina. So if you can knock them both out in one stone, you can do that. For example, once I get to Me Gunner, you have to clear a 3-minute Smash with more than 100 KOs. However, there's also a challenge to clearing 3-minute Smash with getting 120 KOs. So when I get to Me Gunner, I'm going to try to do 120 KOs. So that way I can just clear both of those challenges. Like, you see where I'm getting at? There was also a challenge where, I'm just going to rant through this one quickly. There's a challenge on the board to break 50,000 blocks in Trophy Rush. And I grinded that for like maybe 2 to 3 hours just to get that done with Bayonetta. Just spam the up air. Just hold down the A button and spam it. Just let it go and destroy everything. But I did that on my own time because there's no point in showing that here. And you may have noticed already, I've gone through a lot of editing so far, which is great because especially given how repetitive Classic and All-Star is in this game, you will have seen everything probably by the end of this part that you'll need to see. And I'm pretty sure like most people are fine with me cutting past everything because it's just battles over and over and over, which is fun to see, like if you're fighting against other people or when this is new. But this is a 4-year-old game. Yeah, I just turned 4 years old 3 days ago at the time of this recording. But, you know, just for the sake of it, it's like, you know, there's no loss to the viewer for how much editing that I'm doing for this playthrough. I just noticed, like, Wii Fit Trainer literally told Cloud to salute the sun and just threw it at him. Jesus Christ. But what was I even talking about? Okay, yeah, so basically all the heavy editing that I'm doing is just to get this moving along, because if the video series goes on a couple days after Ultimate, I don't see it happening, but if it goes on a couple days after Ultimate comes out, I would mostly blame my laptop for that, because it is slow. It is slow. It takes 4 hours to render a half-hour long video. So it's just a lot of waiting when it comes to this, but yeah, if it goes on past it, that's fine. Me playing and recording, I don't want it to go past the 7th. I want to focus on Ultimate. I mean, editing and uploading is whatever, but I don't want to have to touch this game. I'm done with it. I just don't. I don't. But anyways, we should probably talk about Mario here. Well, I can do this right now. Let's talk about this and then talk about Classic later. Mario's specific character challenge is to clear 20 or more turns of Crazy Orders. Remember how I said that Mario has one of the hardest challenges out of all the character-specific challenges? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory here because you have to clear 20, you have to go through 20 rounds of this. And Crazy Orders is basically, you know, a bunch of stipulations for random, like it's random stipulations. It's there's nothing special to it. There's no specific gimmicks. It's just like, hey, do this team battle. Like the last battle with Cloud, do this giant battle. Do this horde battle. This group, this free-for-all, all this stuff, just do it. And the thing with Crazy Orders, how it works is, I mean, there's Crazy Orders and Master Orders. Master Orders, I think we get into that with Rosalina. But it's basically, you know, like I just said there, a random list of stipulations. However, you can choose which ones you want and you can choose when to stop in Master Orders. Crazy Orders, you can technically choose when to stop as well, but you're encouraged to try to survive longer. The more and more rounds of this you do, the bigger your rewards. Like, the bigger your rewards pool, basically. You get more gold, you get more custom moves, which I don't need any more of because I've already unlocked all those. But, what is it? Basically, and this is a good way to unlock CDs too, actually, in the beginning of the game until you build a custom stage built for grinding CDs and the Pokemon and all that. When I was just doing random grinding for like the trophy test and all that, that's another thing. Trophy Rush, like, also has some specific character challenges, but since it's the same thing over and over again, I don't feel bad about not showing them to you guys, because I sort of did them on accident, forgetting that characters like Pikachu and Falco have, like Falco and Fox actually, I think both of them have challenges based around Trophy Rush. And I found out that, speaking of Pokemon, I've never had Xerneas at all, because that's tied behind Pikachu's Trophy Rush challenge. So I unlocked Xerneas like in the last month of the game. So anyway, story with this whole thing of crazy orders is that basically you can see me here heavily contemplating what to do because I want to stay away from that free-for-all because I know I'm going to die. So it's either a giant battle with Kirby or a horde battle. Horde battles are usually good to do in the early game because they're super easy to kill, especially stuff with like Mario's back throw. You can just knock Olimar into the other Olimars and do that stuff. But here I was just like, you know what, let's do Kirby, because at this point, I think I cut out about an hour of footage here. I cut out about an hour because I kept losing at around round 8 or so, because I haven't done crazy orders in a while. And here I turned on customs. It's kind of hard to tell because I don't have any special moves, but I basically turned on a bunch of attack and defense buffs, and all that I'm really losing is some speed. It's kind of noticeable, but it's not really exactly the worst. Like, I mean, you see here, like, I have no more music to unlock, so I'm just getting random custom equipment, and then the money in the foreground of Master Hand over there. I mean, Crazy Hand. But you see that final thing there. If I chose that ticket, that means, okay, I'm ready to fight you. I'm going to take you on, and I'm going to get all these rewards. And it's basically an HP battle. I think you have HP, and Crazy Hand has HP. At first, I thought you only fought Crazy Hand, but if you make it past a certain amount of rounds, you also fight Master Hand along with him just to make it even harder, and you also fight 2 shadow clones of yourself, I believe. What the heck? Did you see? How did Lucina end up there? What the heck happened? I missed that. Oh, okay, I have the Gust Cape, actually. Because in Horde battles, I loved using that thing because it was hilarious to just cape them and watch them fly off the screen. I just loved doing it. That was the only custom move I turned on, was the cape, the Gust Cape, because the Fireball, I wanted normal Fireball just in case if I could Gimp. Flood, I wasn't going to use anyway, and plus charging in this is kind of like, the CPUs won't let you do it. And then up B, I just want a normal up B. Now here's the thing though. I lost after that round. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to have this eating up more and more hard drive space. So I stopped the recording. And I kept going. I made it to round 20, and I went into fight Master Hand. But I thought I was recording, but apparently I wasn't. And you know, I did the challenge. Like, you know, there it is right there. I completed it. But like I said, I thought I was recording, but apparently I missed the button or something. Because there it is, like, there are clear crazy orders of 20 more turns with Mario. And I don't even know what we got. Oh, we got the Flood Trophy. But I don't know how I didn't notice. Like, I mean, either way, you're going to see plenty of Master Hand and Crazy Hand fights later on anyway. But speaking of which, of fighting Master Hand, you noticed that in Classic Mode, well, did you notice first up that I said I needed to complete Classic Mode with every character on 7.0 or above? However, I went in with Mario at 2.0. That was because I technically did 7.0 with him previously. And so I wanted to show off the different phases of the boss fight. Or at least I wanted to at first, but you know, I wanted to show off the different phases of the bosses that you can face in these certain modes, because a lot of people usually go somewhere above 5 for this, because 5 is middle of the road difficulty. It's, you know, it's a pretty easy yet challenging difficulty. But you know, after you reach 5.1 and above, you always go into the Master Core fights. You never see Master Hand by himself, or even Master Hand and Crazy Hand anymore. Because you only really see that for the first 2 times when you don't have any money, And then that's it. So I just wanted to show it off for the sake of like, hey, look what else you can do in this. So, you know, that's just, I don't know, this is the end of that. I wanted to show off Master Hand with Mario. Next will be Luigi, because I'm going in order of my character select screen here. I know it's modded, it's in a different order, but I'm basically going in that order for this whole thing. And the whole thing with that is that, you know, since I already did Mario and Luigi at a high enough difficulty level, I could show off different phases. And so I was like, you know, why not take this opportunity? And you notice with the heavy editings that I'm doing, it's basically to get this moving along, because it's just these kinds of battles all over and over and over again. Like, look at me there. I'm just waiting for them to come at me so that way I can hit them. So basically, my method of thinking for this, aside from cutting out all the repetitiveness to make it a more enjoyable video for you guys to watch, is basically, you know, I show off the ending. I show off the ending to both modes. And, you know, for specific videos like this, where I focus on a few characters, I'm going to show the opening round of All-Star and the ending round. However, the same thing applies to both. What I'm about to say applies to both Classic and All-Star. In between, I will be showing somewhat of a highlight reel. So basically, if anything cool happens in between the first and last round, you'll see it happening. Like, you'll see it. I'll edit that in the middle. If not, then it'll just cut straight from this round right here, round 1 to round 7. That's basically what happened. Like, you'll see one cool thing here. However, if the clip that's about to appear right now didn't happen, I wouldn't have included it. It would just go straight to the last round. And Classic mode is basically just going to be a clip show all the way through. Okay, yeah, so the only reason I kept that one was because I teched the thing somehow, and I didn't even know you could tech on that stage. But yeah, if nothing cool happens, then it'll basically cut from there to here. And you'll know which round is the first round, because you'll obviously see it at the beginning. And the last round always starts off with Donkey Kong and Little Mac here. Now Little Mac, like, see, I guess I can go into the differences between Classic and All-Star, between both modes, between both versions, I should say, is that 3DS version had, honestly, 3DS version had the better of both modes. I mean, All-Star is basically the exact same, except 3DS has better stages for it. But, you know, it's better for both. Because Classic mode was basically a choose-your-own-adventure, quote-unquote, sort of thing. But, you know, it was at least more well-structured than the Classic mode in this, where, you know, it's this weird board game thing. There's no structure. There's no sense of, like, oh, there's a theme. Like, no, there's no theme. It's just random fights. And you could be forced, which is especially infuriating on higher difficulty, you could be forced to just do 8-player smashes when you don't want to, and you'll die because of it, because you don't know what's going on in the midst of all the chaos. And All-Star is basically, it wants to go through some sort of a timeline, where on the 3DS, it goes in order of, like, basically it goes in order of, like, the oldest to youngest characters. Like, you know, like, Game & Watch and Pac-Man are the oldest characters in this game, and then Mario and Donkey Kong, so on and so forth. And in Wii U, it's reversed. It's the newer characters first, which means that when you're on a really good run, and then you make it to the last round where you're surrounded by hard-hitting Little Mac right at the beginning, and you lose to just something stupid, it's very infuriating, and it's very scary. It's very, very scary to think about losing to Little Mac at the very end of your run. Oh, I actually did it with 9 on Mario. Because I know I did the challenge with Marth. The clear 9.0 without losing a single stock, I did it with Marth. Just spacing tippers and being incredibly campy. This is basically all I did. It's just counters, tippers, and play campy. Play lame and campy. That's all I did. No customs. And with Mario, I think I just did it because I was messing around at the time. I was just like, you know what, let me do it on 9.0 for once. Although somehow, I think Mario had a higher score, or was it Marth? I missed that part. So yeah, for Luigi here, I'm basically going in at a high enough difficulty to summon Crazy Hand. So that way we can at least show off a full fight with both of them, because, I mean, you won't be seeing the full fight of the Master Core until for another 2 videos. But the thing with that is that basically, what am I thinking of? Oh, I'm drawing a blank now. What was I even talking about? I was talking about Master Hand and Crazy Hand. Okay, yeah, so because the thing is that with the Master Core, once you take out about 50 HP, it doesn't matter from which hand. Once you take out about 50 HP, Master Core just suddenly appears. And it always comes out of Master Hand. Like, Crazy Hand just dips for some reason. You can only damage Crazy Hand, and for some reason Master Hand acts like the one who gets hurt. And I don't know why. But that's basically what happens, and so, you know, it's a full battle, like in the days of Melee and Brawl, because we never get to see these. Oh my god, run, Luigi! I'm pretty sure that's a new attack for Smash 4, because I don't remember him dealing out a deck of cards in the other games. But, let me see here. Were there any other topics I missed? I mean, I talked about all the trophies already. I mean, in terms of unlocking anything else, there was a challenge there that talked about unlocking custom headgear. Unlock all the custom headgear. I'm only missing one piece, and it's locked behind one of those challenges. And there's also another thing that I'm doing is that for these character-specific videos, I'm going to be showing these pictures. And for the other ones, like, I don't know, I just figured it would eat up more time. I could probably put links in the descriptions if you guys want to see what the pictures look like, because I'm pretty sure there are PNG files everywhere on a Wikipedia page or something. Because the structure for these videos of what I'm going to be doing is that there are going to be 5 videos that focus on specific characters. Like this one is going to be of Mario and Luigi, just because of the first 2. Just to get a feeling for what the series is going to be. So it's basically going to be one video like this and what I call a speedrun video, where the next video you'll be seeing is a smorgasbord of characters just being sped run through with their single player modes and challenges. Obviously you'll see me beating it, you'll see me getting the trophies, and you'll see me doing any challenges for them that I haven't done already along the way. But, you know, it's basically going to be alternating because, you know, this Mario and Luigi video, and then you're going to get a video with 11 characters. However, it's still only going to be about a half hour long. Don't worry about it being too long, because even I wouldn't be able to stand it. I'd have nothing to talk about past that point. But with the rapid fireness of characters, I'd have something different to talk about like every 5 minutes or so. And I don't want to sit through that, and I don't want to put you guys through that. I mean, I have to sit through it when I'm playing. That's fine enough. And like I said, basically, think of them as clip shows. If anything cool happens, you'll see it. If not, then it'll basically cut right to the end for that character. Like here, it went straight from first round to last round because nothing really cool happened because I don't Luigi that well. And basically, like, I'm gonna say it like this. So you're gonna get this video here with Mario and Luigi. You're going to get a video with 11 characters. Oh, misfire, apparently. But then next, I believe you're going to get a video with Rosalina and Palutena. Because basically 14 characters are going to be getting specific videos. I think. Let me think, how many are there? Let me look at my notes, actually. I had notes for this. Also, Luigi dealt with them pretty quickly, actually. I don't know how I did that. Oh no, you're going to be getting 6 of those episodes. You're going to be getting 6 episodes of specific characters. It's going to be Mario and Luigi, Rosalina and Palutena, the Pits and Marcina, Pac-Man and Cloud, Sonic and Bayonetta, and then Falcon and Ganondorf. Now, basically those characters are getting special treatment either because they're characters that I especially enjoy, or I feel like I have stuff to talk about with them. However, as this video comes to an end, I'll be able to explain this further, and you'll be able to see it for yourself in part 2, where I go over a ton of characters, actually. I'll go over that list later. So, until then, I hope you stick around for, well, I hope you stick around for the rest of this series, and, let's just count down to Ultimate, because, honestly, the reason why I wanted to do this in the first place was just as a final send-off to Smash 4. I also had some other plans, which I can get into a little later in the next video, but, just time constraints. I don't have the time to do exactly what I wanted, and I kind of realized, thinking back on it, like, how was I going to keep that up? Because I feel like I would have nothing to talk about at points. But, I think this is for the better. It wastes less of my, well, I mean, it does a lot of, it takes up a lot of my time, but, it doesn't take up as much time, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, more of this in part 2. Hope to see you guys there.